I'm not allowed to do that. Hey y'all, you already know who it is. Today it is Cherish and welcome back to my channel. So today's video I'm gonna be talking about how I catfished somebody. Like I was in the 5th grade. It was like summer, I don't know. Catfish, what the like what do you know what catfish is? I'm gonna put the definition right here. Basically it's like you use somebody's identity and pretend that's you. Before we get into this video, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and tell your friends about me. I really appreciate it. And yeah, I really love y'all. Yeah, I love y'all. And yeah, so let's get into the story time. So this takes place summer 2017, and it's like what it's 2021, so it's been a minute. I want y'all to keep this in mind. I didn't have a phone and I used the house phone, and like I said, this was 2017. Before that I had a best friend and we're gonna name her D. Me and D were best friends in the 5th grade. We met in the 5th grade and we became really close. Like we kicked it a lot with each other. Like we hung out, made slime to get like, she was my real ride or die. One day, cause I had a Kindle and like I couldn't text, like you can't really do anything with a Kindle, so I got the app Kik. They have to have the app and you can text them off there. So I called up D off my house phone and I was like, D, you need to get Kik so we can talk, and like she's like, okay, bet. So we got it and we're texting, and one day we were on the phone and we were playing like, what were we playing, like I'm Vu something. And she's like, we should make a catfish account for you. Like I made one and it was like so cool. I was like, oh, okay. Me not knowing what a catfish account is, I'm just thinking she's gonna make another Instagram account for me. She's just like, yeah, I'm gonna make this account. We finna like get all this money. Basically saying we gonna get money. I made the account. She was like, what do you want your name to be? I was like, oh, just put Cherish. She was like, girl, you cannot use your name. I was a catfish account. So I was like, oh, well, I'm not really good at making up names off the top of my head. So I was like, I don't know. She was like, oh, we're just gonna name you Lily. And I was like, okay, well, Lily Couture. So she made it. We found these pictures. She was sending me pictures on Kik saying which ones to pick, which ones I should she pick for my account and stuff. And I was like, oh, just that one or like that one. But they were like mad. The quality was horrible. Looked like you can get them off freaking the floor. Like it was horrible. But you know, us, we're little, we don't know, so we were just like, okay, like let's just put them together and we're good. Okay, like, so we're getting followers, okay, because we're following a lot of people and we're getting followers. No text though. Like I'm thinking like, oh, okay, somebody's gonna just text us talking about, oh, give us money. No, I was wrong. We found this dude, I'm gonna say his name because Mike, his name was Mike, and Mike Giacomelli. He texted it and he was like, hey, hey, like you're really pretty. He was white, very white, had bad acne, but like we said, we just want money. I'm not texting at all because I don't have a phone. So my friend's texting, my best friend D is texting him like, oh, hey, like, you know, like they're actually having a conversation. She's sending me screenshots of on Kik, like, oh yeah, like this is him, and like he's like talking about like, what do you like to do for a living, like what do you do, because like the pictures look like I was young, but I had a kid and I had a husband. Mind you, I had a husband. Things were talking and he's just like, oh, like you're really pretty, like da 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 da. She's like, oh, thank you, right, being friendly, because duh. And he was like, so is that your husband or like what? We're really getting into like making up these lies, girl. But remind you, I don't know what's going on unless she physically tells me, right? So I'm not thinking anything of it like, oh, like it's not nothing serious, because who gonna stop me? Who gonna stop us? Baby, we the dream team together. Like who's gonna stop us? One day, like 2 weeks later, I went to my uncle's house. In my uncle's house, I have 3 cousins there, and I didn't have a phone. Like I said, I didn't have a phone, but they all had phones. Like they all had like Apple or like Samsung. So my cousin, she had a Samsung and she let me use it. So I hit up D and I was like, hey, like, can you send me the Instagram and the password so I can see what's going on? She was like, yeah, for sure. So she sent me it. I put it in. We have tons of followers, like tons of followers. Like I get in comments like you're so pretty. But right, this catfish account, it ain't me. So I'm looking at it, and my cousins had seen me do it. Like my cousins see me what I was doing, and they're like, "Oh, I want to make one. I want to make one." So I was like, "Okay, cool, sure. Like we could be mutual friends on the thing, so it doesn't look fishy." Made an account, found some pictures, and we were just commenting on each other's stuff, shouting each other out. You know, not trying to make it sound fishy. And they made an account. And we're like texting, and like my cousin found somebody to text. My best friend D, she was texting him too. So it was all good. It was all good. Little do I know. So we're just like, oh yeah, we can make some money off these. We can do stuff with this money if we get some. Like if they really send it. But like I'm like, how are they gonna send it? I do not know nothing about no Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, like none of that. So I was just like, how are we gonna get the money? And they're like, oh well, they can just come to our house. The next weekend they came to my house, and it was, my sister was a newborn, and like yeah, she was young. They wanted to see the baby. They really don't be coming over. They just come to like see the baby. So they spent the night, and my brother was there too. And they have phones, but my mom has always been like lenient towards like letting us have phones, and so now like she would hate when we have phones. Like she'd be like, y'all better not be doing nothing on that phone. Y'all better not be doing this. But like always trying to watch us. Like girl, I'm grown. But no, like she would always be like, yo, y'all better not be doing nothing. Y'all better not be looking at nothing nasty. Y'all better not, like, you know. My mom has always been like that. So like I understand. Like I now understand why. Like back in the days, I used to be so pissed. I used to be like, why is she taking my stuff? Like I would just be so pissed. I have a phone, so my cousin had the phone, so I just logged in on her phone again, and they were texting him. And like this time it was getting a little like weird. Like he would be like, ooh, like I want to get like a little pic, and I'm young, like I didn't know, so I was like, no, like I'm okay, like I'm fine, like I don't send pictures like that. And he was like, oh, that's fine, like that's fine. And then he was like, when do you want me to come and see you? But my cousin's texting him. I'm not texting him. And my friend, she hit me up on Kick. She's like, girl, who's texting him? Like, this is getting weird. I'm just like, my cousin, like, what's going on? And she was like, girl, like, you need to tell your cousin to log out. I was like, okay, bet, like, okay, right now. My cousin's like, no, like, let's keep it going. And I was like, okay, like, whatever, like, sure, fine, whatever you want to do. He wanted to call me. And this is where it all went horribly. Like, so he wants to call me, and I was like, they're like, let me just call him off my phone, which I should have just let them did. And I was like, no, like I don't want y'all to take. Sorry, the light went out. And like, because he thinks he's talking to Lily. So then my cousin's like, just let us call us off my phone, because what if he calls back on the house phone and like we can get a hold of him? And I was like, okay, you're right, because he can call back. But I still didn't listen. I was like, no, like, you're not going to take him from me. Like, this is like, no, this is not going to happen. So they're like, okay, whatever, go. So my mom, she's already suspicious. Like, she's already like, why do you need the house phone? Like, your cousins are here. Like, who you finna get on the phone with? And I was like, oh, like, I'm finna get on the phone with my friend, D. I just said D, because, like, that's the only person I would really be on the phone with. So I was like, oh, I'm finna get on the phone with D. She's like, oh, okay. We called him, and he didn't answer. 3 times he did not answer, and this wasn't no star 67. So I was like, oh my god, like he's gonna call back. And like my mom was like using the house phone too. He didn't call back, and then I called him off star 67, and he still didn't call me back. He still didn't call, but his voicemail was like mad corny. It was like mad corny. It was like so funny. Like it was like, girl, mom, right? Okay, my cousin's name starts with an L, and then Lily, right? So he calls back, and my mom has the phone. She's like, who's this? And she was like, I'm looking for Lily. And she was talking about my cousin, so she brought my cousin in the room. She was gonna beat my cousin to death. My mom was really finna like my cousin ratted me out, so I got in trouble eventually. After she talked to her, I got in trouble, and I got in big trouble, not gonna lie. I got like in mad trouble. Like I didn't have my Kindle anymore. I couldn't be on the phone for like a month. I had to stay in my room. I only had the radio, and the radio would be replaying songs. So it was like, I was so done. I was so pissed. They didn't get in trouble. They got their phone taken away for 2 days. 2 days. And I got in trouble. But yeah, like that's how I got it. It wasn't nothing crazy, but like, no, like you cannot do that. Like you cannot do that with nobody, because they will find you. They will find you. But then one time, like, I was just bored, so I looked him up, and like he has a girlfriend now. And like, but this was like what, 2 years ago. He had a girlfriend, and it was like, oh, he bossed up. So then like after that, I never did that Lily thing. Like I never looked at the account, never cared for it. I was even scared to get on Instagram, because I was like, oh my god, like what if he's like, I'm finna get you and stuff. So yeah, I got in really big trouble. Like that was the worst trouble I've ever been in. Like, you know, I got a whooping. You know I got a whooping. So thanks for watching my video. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and take a friend on me. I really appreciate it, and I love y'all. Like I really love y'all. Like I'm gonna be making videos a lot more. I just been like kind of busy. Love you guys. Bye.